Starfield. Um, Starfield, Xbox, and PS5. So, Starfield gave the Xbox a massive sales boost in the UK, but it wasn't enough to dethrone the PS5. So, we're talking about the console wars here, and in the UK, and boy, do we have some spicy stats for you. Starfield has been a game changer for Xbox, boosting sales by a whopping 136%. But the question is, did it manage to outperform the PS5? Let's see what it did. So 136%, but it couldn't beat the PS5. I know why it couldn't beat the PS5, and I'll tell you why it couldn't beat the PS5. Because someone at work is thinking about getting a PS5 for the reason that I think this is what's going to happen. So overall, console sales increased by 44% to run up to Christmas. People want to kind of get it in there before they get the rush. They're the sensible buyers.
Hmm.
Downside is that the PS5 Slim's coming around, and you're going to get the Xbox Slim version coming, or Slim, or I can't remember, Redux versions, or whatever you want to call them. But despite that, PS5, despite no major exclusives, sales were up 24%, making it the most popular console. Now, I think that's people being ready to buy Spider-Man 2. Because that first Spider-Man game was great. Miles Morales one, good game. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. So the downside is that the people who bought these things, the Slim's going to be around the corner. So my friend Malcolm would always buy a PlayStation console just before the Slim version came out. He bought one early this time round. He bought one within a couple of months of it coming out. But he was always that person. He bought the last batch of fat consoles, and then the slim ones come out. It's like every time he did that like for 3 console generations. Um, but yeah, it's interesting how Starfield. I think is I think the response to Starfield, especially for the people who listen to our podcast, you can hear at the beginning our response to Starfield. We were talking about it, and we kind of fell out of love with the game. We played it. There's lots of stuff to do in there, but when you've gone through the bulk of it, and then you start moving through it, you then start getting a bit frustrated. Because if you're
Mm.
playing on console, the base building and the ship building is just garbage. If you're playing on PC, you're probably having a whale of a time, yeah, because you get mouse and keyboard for that, fantastic. But if you're trying to put a base down, and I modified the Frontier, or whatever is that first ship that you get, and I whacked a load of bits on there. It took me about 30 bloody minutes just to put on 2 additional modules and redo the engine, and I'm just like, this is just it's like, okay, you think I'm old man being like, no, the interface is garbage.
Also, with that
Um,
shipbuilding thing, yeah, it annoys me as well because you're looking at a weapon, for example, and you want to upgrade that to another weapon.
mhm.
It won't show you the same stats in the stats section
Oh,
for those
and it
weapons.
doesn't
It
it
picks and
doesn't group the
chooses.
weapons, and it doesn't group the weapons together either.
No,
So
so
it's
I'm
like
sitting
you've
there.
got the manufacturers grouped together. It's madness.
I'm trying
Sorry,
to
Nudge.
remember the stats of the weapon and compare it against another weapon to see if I want that one instead. And I just think that it's nuts how games all the way back have got a comparison mode where you can simply see the stats of your current weapon, and then you see the same stats of a different weapon to see if you
Ah,
want to upgrade them.
all right. Hang on a
They
second.
don't show that.
I think they do show that, but I don't think
No,
it's where you think it is.
it's different stats. They show different stats. They don't show. They'll show the fire rate and they'll show something, but then they won't show the same stats. It's stupid. And if you
That
go to
does.
grav drives and stuff like that and other things, storage, I that's why I've steered clear of shipbuilding completely. Anyway, um,
It's so going back to this. I think that everyone's a bit more enamored with the PS5, probably because of the PS4, probably because of their exclusives. Because think of the Microsoft exclusive. You've got one Microsoft exclusive that everyone was kind of excited for, and that was Starfield. It came out, it was a bit damp squib. Yeah, we played it, we kind of enjoyed it. It could have been better.
yeah, I've got about
I
two
might
days
go back.
played on that. I think.
I think I got back. I think I've just got over 2 days played on that. And I remember I started off and the thing was just buggy as all hell for me. So I had to play it completely differently to you and Bapster. And it was just so annoying. I couldn't even land at the location. It wouldn't let me land at the location. I had to get up, fly to another planet, fly back to the planet, and then reselect the land zone, and it let me land on the zone. Because I was wondering, no.
I have to do a fair amount of reloading as well, just through shit not working properly. But
I was going to say save scumming doesn't count.
no, you go to a place and you can't. I've had it where the outpost that I built, you can spawn your ship on the platform by selecting the console, selecting the home ship, and it'll appear. But it didn't appear for me. But it said it was there, and I couldn't see it, so I had to basically reload. So I reload, do the same thing again, and it appeared, but it appeared half in the platform and half out, so I couldn't get in it. So I went, I'll just fast travel to it. I couldn't fast travel because I was encumbered, and I stood right next to the bloody thing, and so I had to reload again. So just fucking, it's buggy, and it's frustrating with shit like that. And you would have thought,
I'll be honest,
Xbox, it should be optimized for X.
What gets me is it doesn't look as good as it should do. It should look much better than that, considering it's next generation. It looks like last generation. It really does. It feels like last generation too, and even actually, I think it feels one step. I think the previous generation from that, because it's just sodding loading screens that kind of take you out of the game. It's like I'll climb up into the hatch. So you've got other games where you go to climb up into a hatch, and it has an animation of the guy opening the hatch, climbing up into the hatch to cover the loading screen. But no, Bethesda, no, we don't need that. So I think when better games come out for the Xbox, you'll get more things through. But I would describe us as being in a bit of a gaming software drought at the moment. We've got a few things on the horizon, but nothing outside that.
I think also PlayStation doing well because they've got the upcoming Portal, and people might be buying PS5s in order to prepare for getting that.
It's great
Some
fun
people might.
With the PlayStation Portal, Nige. Some people have got some very strong opinions on the PlayStation Portal, which we only found out recently.
Which is what makes me think people are buying the PlayStation 5 and hoping to use the Portal on it.
My money's on Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 is a big draw.
Spider-Man 2 is a massive draw. That first Spider-Man game's tip top.
I liked both of them equally. Miles Morales and Spider-Man 1. I liked them both equally. There's so much more to do outside of the main game, and the 15-hour main mission, which I even heard it made the radio that it was a criticism. I'm like, no, you do stuff outside of that. You've got all the side quests to do, and if you're into collectibles, you've got that. It's not just 15 hours. I think it's probably closer to 30 at least.
Yeah, but it's a difference between you can have like 200 hours with Starfield and have a crap experience. Not that I'm saying everyone has a crap experience with Starfield, because I was having good experiences in places, yeah? Or you can have a solid 18-hour or 15-hour experience with Spider-Man.
Two totally different types of game. However, the time you put into a game, is it enjoyable compared to how much you've spent on the game? And actually, because I've got Game Pass, I haven't paid for Starfield really, technically.
I'll be honest with you, I probably would have been really pissed if I'd have bought Starfield.
Yeah.
Because it would just hang around just long enough for me to stop liking it. But hey, it's one of those things. But with that, let's go on to our next story.